TGN League of Legends Community Tournament number 3, Qualifiers Day 2. This tournament's powered by XSplit. If you want to live stream like we are right now live, click the link in the video description below to try out XSplit for free or for a discount, or get a freaking free copy on Twitter. My name is Awall, and joining me on this cast is Cromar, and we are fired up. This is our first cast of the day on Qualifier Day 2. How you feeling, my friend? And give me a little intro to these teams.
How am I feeling? Awake and well slept. Is that a phrase? Is well slept a phrase?
I think it's well slepted.
Well slepted? Yeah, I'm going to go with well slepted. But anyway, no, seriously though, our teams here, we have a bit of an ELO difference between our red and blue teams, and it's going to be tough. To definitely have an underdog for our blue team, European Biscuits, versus our red team, which is a yellow buff. That's right. I knew it was a buff. I just can't remember what color. Between yellow buffs. So anyway, the matchup, we have Amumu in the jungle versus Malphite in the jungle. Both of these are, jungle tanks, and both of them have kind of subpar ganks before level 6. I think Amumu's ganks are a little bit better of the two. But the people they're ganking, they're actually ganking, is also very significant because we have Jax on blue team, and Jax is very difficult for Malphite to gank. Now, if Jax and Malphite are against each other in the lane, it's dramatically in favor of Malphite. But as a ganker, Jax has a lot of opportunity to just escape. He's also got Cleanse, which may save him too. And his lane opponent, Darius, on the other hand, is going to have trouble getting away if Amumu and Jax get on him properly, basically. If Amumu doesn't want to open with grab, Amumu wants to walk into him at the right angle and force him to flash away, then he grabs him after the flash, and then stuns him, Jax jumps on him, and so on. That's how you want to gank Darius. And that makes Darius a lot more vulnerable to the early game ganking and the instant, the first blood, basically. And statistically, the first blood in a high elo game it almost always determines the winner. We talked about that in the previous tournament quite a bit, I think. That's why your jungler wants to go top most of the time. But anyway, as far as the other matchups, Ryze and Orianna, Ryze the tank mage, and Orianna the super high skill mage. I haven't seen this player play Orianna, so I don't know what to expect out of him. She's a very high skill cap champion, but his elo is high enough that I kind of trust that we're going to see some amazing plays out of him. I'm really looking forward to that because you don't see it that often, to be honest, unless you're watching pro players. If you just play in general, most of the Oriannas you're going to go up against are pretty bad because Orianna is so hard to play. Bot lane, we have another interesting combination. We have good old Leona, kill lane Leona, matched up with Corki, going up against Tristana and Taric. This is going to be really interesting because I know, Taric, you're a big Taric fanboy, especially the pink skin Taric. And we have two different ADs who kind of specialize in escaping, and then two different supports who specialize in stunning. So I think, I can't wait to see how that's going to go. I really can't predict it at this point. I know that Corki is very good at escaping from Amumu, so Amumu's going to have a really hard time with him. I mean, he's got Flash and he's got his Valkyrie, so there's almost no way Amumu could gank him before 6. I don't think that anything is going to happen there. Malphite ganking bottom, Tristana's got the same issue. Taric can just stun Malphite after he comes in, or stun Corki, and Tristana can just leap away like it's nothing. So I don't think that ganking-wise, bot lane is really open in all the ganks. It's almost like ganking Ezreal. Not quite that bad, but pretty close. So
here's what I predicted earlier. Here's Corki and Leona. They have Taric and Tristana pushed up against the tower. I said that it would be advised for Taric and Tristana to stay pushed up against their tower. If they can freeze those creeps right outside between the ledge and the inner bush, they are in good shape. You don't want to be out in the open with Leona and Corki out there. Between that Valkyrie and just the ability for Leona to close that distance so quickly, you don't want to be out there. You don't want to be vulnerable, especially with Tristana on board. But look at this heavy pressure mid. Oh my, the flash. Straight into the ground slam and the seismic shard, picking that one up. Unfortunately, Malphite got credit for the kill, but who cares?
Yeah,
they got first blood in the mid lane, and Orianna's going to be able to continue to farm. Now, this blue arrow with a little shadow here on Orianna, is that part of the new Orianna changes?
I don't know, because I know that they made quality of life changes for her recently. That's probably it. But honestly, I'm not familiar with it because I haven't played Orianna since any of the changes. I've only played Orianna a little bit, just kind of messing around with her, and she is really weird. Aiming her stuff is really strange, so hopefully the changes have made it a little bit easier to control her. But we actually see Malphite. Looks like he's actually gonna go for a top gank, but he's a little too late. Jax is porting. Nope, he got away. Oh well, he tried. But anyway, yeah, what happened bot, we actually saw, I was actually watching bot a little bit, and there was quite a bit of harass coming down from Orianna. She was actually outplaying Ryze pretty hard, and pushed him into the tower, and then Malphite is like, screw it, we're going to dive this, and they get picked up the easy first blood. So yeah, that Rise, yeah, Rise is pretty vulnerable. I mean, he's not super vulnerable. He wouldn't have died if he hadn't been so low. If he hadn't been harassed so badly, he wouldn't have died for sure. It wasn't like a super clean gank, but it was still a pretty good idea. I mean, it was obvious follow-up after the harass went down. So anyway,
I don't think we actually properly introduced the teams at the very, very beginning. I know you guys can see it in the little banner up at the top. This is European Biscuits on the blue team versus Yellow Buff on the red side. We keep running into these issues where people have colors that differ from their team color. So to hell with all of you.
Well, there is no yellow team, so we're okay this time. It's not like Solo Boo playing red and Pink Potatoes playing blue.
Oh no, Tristana getting focused down. Corky with the Gatling gun barely secures that one. Able to get it. Corky Valkyries away, and unfortunately this Mumu gank turned uber sour. Only 2 were there from the red side, able to pick up a kill, and Oriana just got a kill mid. Let me back that up 15 seconds and
I gotta
catch
go back
what happened there.
I did not see that.
Tell me about it. You go. You take it away.
So down in mid, it's actually looks like a nice 101. Oh my gosh, he just ults him for about half his health. It was straight burst, man, straight burst. He was sitting by his tower, all secure in his, in the tower, and then all of a sudden his life is just gone. She just dropped the ball on him and ulted for about, I'd say the ult was about a third of his health by itself, and then the rest of the burst came down pretty quick. So that was pretty brutal. I would have never expected that to happen if I hadn't already known about it. But yeah, it looks like Malphite and Mumu ran into each other in the jungle and decided to have a gentleman's agreement and just part ways.
That was pretty crazy. My graphics glitched a bit there, like a Mumu looked like he was invisible or something, but they just ran the opposite directions, huh?
Yeah, they just took off. Yeah, those two guys, if they were to actually try to fight it out, honestly, we would be here all day. So that's why they're like, no, this is a waste of time for both of us. Let's just get out of here. So both of them being tanks and supports and not straight DPSers. That doesn't mean, I mean, Malphite's damage is actually not that bad, to be honest. Malphite's damage, and neither is a Mumu's once he gets stacked up, but Malphite is more around the burst damage with his ult. Without his ult, he doesn't do a whole lot. He has to spam Tremor, which he doesn't even have blue, so he can't even do that for very long at all. And besides that, he's just doing very weak punches, which a Mumu has a passive that automatically reduces those. So I don't see the two of them don't really do their own damage. But late game you can build a Mumu as AP, and when you build him as an AP with his 1.0 ratio on his ult, he gets fairly ridiculous with his damage. That's how I play him in a Dominion. I don't actually play him in Summoner's Rift. I think we put up a video on the channel of me playing a Mumu as a semi-AP in Summoner's Rift, and it didn't go very well. I mean, I'm basically going in ult and die. So I definitely don't want to do that in Summoner's Rift. But the potential's there. Mumu is underestimated often for his damage. But,
he is. Darius getting hyper-aggressive on Jax up top. Really, Jax has been back on his heels most of this matchup. He's been pushed up against his tower.
Yeah.
Darius really able to...
Mid.
There we go. Okay, here we are. Rise forced to pull back to the tower, but a Mumu did enough damage to Oriana to push her back. Ultimate, clutch ultimate there. One seismic shard would secure it, and yes, it did right there on a Mumu. And Oriana barely survives, only taking 1 tower hit. That was disgusting. Getting both of those kills perfectly executed. Perfectly executed by Yellow Buff.
Yeah, it really was. That was pretty much a total dominance play right there. Mumu came in with the gank on Oriana with the grab over the wall, and it was a very nice start, but then Malphite came in and just basically showed them how it's done. He ulted both of them, and then Oriana's burst just, I mean, with the ult burst right off the start, there was just no way they could compete with that. And then they were suddenly running away. You just look at Malphite's health and Oriana's health after that fight. They were pretty low, and my graphics are actually glitched. I show that, what's his name? Malphite's still ignited. Hopefully that clears up.
Yeah, my graphics are getting a little glitched too, but I think that's just spectator mode. I'm seeing the graphic above his head, but that was a fantastic usage of Malphite's ultimate. One thing that you can do, Malphite players, don't just use it when it's obvious right out the gate and use it as purely an initiation. Engage the fight with a seismic shard and maybe a ground slam. Wait a second for your cooldowns to go down a little bit. Then use your ultimate, then seismic and ground slam again. And it allows you, because you, like we were talking about earlier, you don't have much damage in your combo, and you can use 2 rounds of your moves if you delay with your ultimate.
That makes perfect sense. I think we saw a really good example of that going very well for Electric, I believe it was, who was playing Malphite. It was either Electric or it was Magnus, but I think it was Electric. And he was very disciplined with his ult, very disciplined. And he started the fight. We thought, we're like, oh, hurry up, ult, but he was just waiting. And he waited for Lee Sin to kick him into position. And after he was kicked into position, he ulted back into position and knocked up 4 people. So, yeah, you got to be disciplined with it. Don't just launch it at the first target, you know. Don't just use it as a gap closer if you can't hit everybody with it or if the timing isn't right. So the discipline's really important. I'm glad to see that. Malphite, in this case, the timing was right because both of them were on Orianna. He needed to stun them to protect Orianna, so that was the best time to use it. But we'll see up in a team fight. I'm sure this player is obviously a Malphite pro, so we'll see this coming up, you know, maybe even right now.
Speaking of Malphite Pro, his ultimate is cooled down already. He is double buffing. I see that freaking ignite animation on top of him. Regardless, oh no, he's in a 3v1 situation. He can easily get away. This is actually a great bait. Here comes Corky with the extra damage. The pop-up on all 3 of them, ground slamming them, seismic sharding this sucker. Meanwhile, Corky has been pretty much uncontested in the meantime. Orianna comes in from the side. That was a fantastic bait by Malphite. And once again, a delayed ultimate from Malphite.
Yes.
So essentially baiting the other team with his tankiness and then popping them up just in time for the allies to come in and clean up. Fantastic, fantastic tactics by this Malphite in the jungle.
Yeah, it really was. What's funny is that Mumu actually landed a perfect ult too, but it just didn't pay off because the team wasn't able to follow up properly. That's just dominance already from Yellow Buff. It's only It's only 12 minutes in. They're already 7-0. Jax is about to. Well, Jax and Darius fighting it out top. I'm not sure.
Oh no, Darius turned this thing around. Look at that, igniting right into that ultimate, picking up that Jax kill up top. Jax turned around. He went away. His cooldowns were not up, so he decided to pull back, and that's how Darius can be so dangerous.
Yes,
saving his ignite until that moment. Take a note of that. He didn't blow it right out the gate like you see a lot of people in my elo, including myself, use it right out the gate. You know, I gotta do as much damage as possible, and delaying and choosing the right time was so smart there.
Yeah, when he knew he was gonna commit to the kill. That's pretty good. He ulted a little bit early, I thought, but then I guess he just had the math done in his head. He knew he was gonna be able to kill him with Decimate as soon as it came up. I completely understand why he would do that. So wow, that's pretty good.
Wow, European Biscuits going deep here to get that Corky kill. Orianna was able to kill a Mumu along the way, and now Yellow Buff is kind of closing in on everyone. Oh no, double kill there in the bushes. Everybody was bunched together. That's exactly what Orianna wanted. Now Ryze is forced to pull back. Oh no, even with the hold there on Malphite, it doesn't matter, but that Leona follow-up and that Orianna follow-up, Yellow Buff is dominating.
Yeah. That was really unfortunate for European Biscuits. They really desperately needed that kill, but they just gave up everything for it. And super fed Orianna and made that happen. That's exactly what happened. I'm really glad to see that we get to see a really strong Orianna play in this tournament already. That's pretty good, and I hope that they don't ban Orianna the next time we see Yellow Buff in the tournament, so we can see more of super OP Orianna play. But what you saw there, super OP Orianna play. What you saw was after they finally secured that kill on Corky, they were just standing there. Well, not just standing there doing nothing. I mean, at the instant that they were standing there, and Orianna landed the ball and the ult for about over a third, maybe almost a half of their health. I mean, that's just what she does. That's just the Orianna burst. It's crazy. And at that point, they were just fleeing, and then Leona did the rest, and Orianna picked up the kill. So, yeah, they were so desperate for that kill that they overextended badly, and they pretty much walked into Orianna's burst, and that's what did them in.
Yep.
Yeah, she is fed. Wow.
Too desperate to get that kill on Corky, and that was a huge mistake there. Taric should have pulled back, and it looked to me like Taric was leading the charge. He was just outside of range, right, for that dazzle. I'm almost got the dazzle, and it's so tempting. And here comes the dragon that they weren't unable to secure earlier. Gonna grab that up, pulling even further ahead. Jeez.
Yeah.
10 freaking K right now.
This 10K. Yeah, they're almost double. The thing is, I was just taking a look at their farm, and their farm is just, I mean, there's almost nothing we can say about the farm. It's
almost double. It's almost double.
Forget
it. Yeah, it isn't almost, it is. And the kill count as well. I mean, this is, wow, European Biscuits is having a tough time. You know, this is part of this community tournament, and this is the qualifier round. You know, we have, everybody can get in here and get a crack, and you get multiple games. Sometimes you're going to be matched up against somebody who's much higher elo, maybe somebody who's much lower elo. So that's one of the cool things about this tournament, is you get the chance to play against teams you'd never have the chance to play against if you were just on your own on the bracket, or within regular League of Legends. In the queue,
yeah,
right.
if you're in the queue, yeah. Speaking of, oh my god, the burst. Orianna, yeah, Orianna just basically was harassing Ryze from beyond the tower. It's pretty messed up. But we finally get a gank, Amumu and Jax ganking Darius. There was no way he could get away from that, as we expected. We were talking about that before. Darius is vulnerable to that gank, but that's only a small consolation for European Biscuits. But yeah, to what you're saying about the matchups in the bracket, the thing is, these teams and these players are unknown, and a lot of these, because this is why it's a community tournament, we invite everybody, and as long as you meet very basic requirements. So this. These players are unknown. It's not like we can just say, well, we know that yellow buffs is at a certain level, so we match him with certain people. All we can do is guess based on their elo, and elo doesn't mean that much. I mean, we see Magnius' elo is like 300 or 400 lower than these players, but Magnius dominates every game they're in. So because they have members of High Rising who just don't play solo queue. So they don't have a high solo queue elo, so you can't go by that. Ultimately, because these teams are unknown, this is their chance to prove themselves. They're in the same pool as everyone, and this is their chance to kind of rise up above the rest. And that's what teams like Electric yesterday were doing. Even though Electric had some really, really strong opponents, like Phalos was particularly good. Angry Drunken Dwarves also was very good. And then now
I liked them. Slippery Fat Man, by the way, is watching live right now. Representing for Slippery Fat Man.
Yeah.
Love that Gragas play.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, if you can hear me there, Slippery Fat Man, you were outstanding yesterday, and I made sure to put one of your plays in the highlights. So, but anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, about these teams, Yellow Buff and Electric, teams like that, they're having their chance to kind of show their stuff, and they're having their chance to prove themselves. And at this point, though, so they can be known to be at a higher level. People like Reboot, Reboot proved themselves in the last tournaments. A&E proved themselves, and it's another. Oh wow, Ryze just kind of walked into that. That's not good.
They might get a kill on this Orianna though. Ryze did go down. Oh, Malphite with the clutch save? Question mark. I mean, we have a bandage toss. No, Malphite. Look at Malphite.
He bodyguarded the bandage toss.
He bandage blocked that sucker. He cock blocked that kill, and that was fantastic work. All the while, Darius picked up the tower kill up in the top. This is disgusting.
Malphite.
Secret Service Malphite. It's like the Reagan assassination attempt.
New skin. Put him in a suit and glasses, man. That's it. Malphite.
Wow.
Wow.
This is impressive play here from Yellow Buff. This Malphite play is making me smile ear to ear. I can confidently say this Malphite is better than my Malphite, and I'm learning a thing or two here. Yes,
Malphite
I will admit
bot
it.
is better than your Malphite Awall, but that's neither here nor there. No, but seriously, yeah, Malphite. Their Malphite's really shown us what's up. So yeah, this game unfortunately is not a competitive one, but that's okay. This is a great way to highlight how good Yellow Buff is. And actually, good job. European Biscuits actually managed to kill Darius. They caught him again, but still died from the Ignite.
Yeah, unfortunately the Ignite got him. But this is one of those things where European Biscuits and other community teams out there, if you're watching this video, we will have more community tournaments. You can get your crack at the $1,000 prize pool. And you can get your crack at free Triumphant Ryze skins, Riot points up for grabs, free copies of XSplit Broadcaster, and the prizes are only going to get bigger and bigger, and the competition's only going to get more and more diverse as we continue to run this tournament, so we're excited about that. But nice bandage toss and nice ultimate there, really setting everyone up for success. The nice dazzle timing, just doing everything that they can, but unfortunately Tristana was just kind of a step behind that whole battle, unable to secure a kill, and Corki lives with what, like 22 HP there.
And he stayed in the fight. Yeah, stayed in the fight. I completely agree. Yeah, Tristana could not follow up. It's partly due to positioning. She was just out of range. That's really unfortunate. She doesn't have any kind of speed boost. Yeah, because her farm is so bad. She doesn't have her Zeal, she doesn't have Phantom Dancer, or even a BF sword weapon, so there was almost no way that she could catch up to that as those guys were fleeing, and there's no follow-up. But other than that, the efforts by the supports, the efforts by Amumu and Tarek to stun her were actually really well done. It was just, to stun the enemy team, it was really well done. It was just there was no follow-up from the team. We've seen that a bunch of times. We've seen individual players make really big plays, and the team just wasn't unable to follow up. That's the difference between a good skilled player and a good skilled team, is the follow-up versus just one player trying to carry. This game is not built around one player carrying. I mean, if you have like a 2400 elo in a 900 elo game, maybe, but in normal play, one player cannot carry. So even if you have an Amumu land a perfect grab, a perfect setup like that, if the other players are behind, they can't follow up, and it can be frustrating. I mean, I play mostly support and jungle, and those kind of jungle tanks really, and those kind of characters rely very heavily on your team to back you up.
Speaking of backup, I love this synergy between Orianna and Darius with the shield going up there. Just allowing Darius to chase people down more effectively and do his thing. I really dig that. And this is, I gotta say, I'm impressed with the teamwork. Oh my gosh, way out of position there. Oh my.
Yeah.
European Biscuit did not have a counter, did not have a ward in their own jungle. They just ran into a big pile of doo-doo. I think that they were just going for the blue buff themselves. Another clutch ultimate by Malphite right on the tower, yielding even more kills. I think at this point, it's literally double the gold at 20 minutes into this thing.
Literally double the gold.
Literally.
Literally double the gold. Yeah.
So, you know, but this is part of the cool thing about this tournament. You get to see all kinds of teams. And now Corki's applying pressure on this bottom lane, on this bottom tower. Jack's going to push this away. I don't think we're going to see a surrender, though. I heard a honk there in the background.
Somebody honking their horn outside my window.
Honk if you love League of Legends.
There you go. There you go. I'm sure that's what it was, yeah. It wasn't just somebody being an asshole. No.
Exactly. But, all right, looks like they're going to pick up Dragon here. They're going to wait. Maybe, I think that we're going to see maybe a quick jungle cleanup from Yellow Buff, then a final buy going into that FTW push. I think that that's how this thing's going to play out. And for everybody watching on the live stream, we're going to have another, basically the downtime in between games is generally maybe about 5 minutes. So after this game, we'll have plenty more games coming up, so be sure to stay tuned.
Yes, we will. Is XSplit Broadcaster a prize? Yes. I don't know if they're listening to us. We're 3 minutes behind after all. But yes, if people wondering, XSplit Broadcaster is a prize. But you have to win the tourney. You have to win the tourney. The winning team does get the entire winning team gets premium. Oh my gosh, is she really gonna get a kill here? Yes, she did get one on Rise there. One of them up 1v4.
Wow.
Oh,
that's disgusting.
All she needed was one stun. Not even a Malphite. Just like one Orion. Just like one Alistar stun.
I can die with no regrets. At least he's going balls deep, and now we see this Jax chasing down Corki here. Corki doing a good job of kiting, but Jax did get the kill, and I feel like Yellow Buff is getting sloppy right now because they're so far ahead.
Yeah,
and
overconfident,
this is the kind of thing where if they continue to do this for another 5 minutes or so, they can start to let this game slip away from them, so they need to really tighten things up. League of Legends can be a snowball fest, but if you screw up for a decent amount of time, especially past the 20-minute mark, you can lose. I've had super embarrassing losses in my time where I loosened up.
I bet you have, Awall.
Dude, you're trolling me hard today. I love it. And here's Darius kind of sticking his tongue out at 5v1 there. Jax with the engage. Here comes Malphite surprise style out of the woods. When is the Malphite ultimate going to drop? Not dropping it yet. You notice the patience. There's the ultimate. Waiting after the initial engage to pick that up to allow his team to chase down. This is fantastic Malphite play. I want to get this guy's autograph right now. Follow me on Twitter. I've already followed your account and favorited your recent tweets.
Follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. Yeah, I think they're a dual Q, dual Q team. No, but seriously, yeah, you're completely right about the Malphite. That's the A+ Malphite on that. Just the perfect timing. I mean, he just waits and waits and waits and then lands at just the right time. Doesn't blow his load, you know, because we saw that in what was the, I can't remember which team was playing Malphite, and we always saw the failed Malphite ults yesterday. I can't remember who it was now off the top of my head, but we see that more often than not when you see Malphite. I
erased it from my memory. I can't remember.
It's sitting in my my Adobe Premiere right now. But seriously though, the Malphites, most Malphites you see will just drop in instantly at the start. As soon as they see a single target, they'll just run straight in. Check out the Orion
nice work. I really like. Well, really, it was a flash dazzle there by Tarek that allowed that initiate to happen.
I saw that, yeah.
They're like, if we're gonna kill anyone on your team, damn it, it's gonna be Orianna. And here's a jump in. Oh my gosh, a balls ass deep jump in there from Jax, able to pick up a kill. Tristan and got Leona. Now they're chasing down Yellow Buff here. They need to make sure that Corki can't sit behind the woods and just pick everyone off because he's got damn decent items right now and he's farmed as hell with 214 CS ahead of everyone, almost as much as everyone on European Biscuits combined. He's able to pull back, and Yellow Buff is getting sloppy here, guys. They're getting really sloppy. And Darius, chasing down, picking up that kill. Oh no, this is a situation where Jackson, Tristana. Yeah, all right, you read my mind there. Is a triple coming? No.
Yeah, they knew they had to run away. There was no way. Oh, there goes a Mumu.
There's a Mumu ult that stops it.
Oh, he got away. Nice. Wow.
Nice
he had to use his ult to do it.
European Biscuits showing us what they're made of. Lulzing in the comments and the all chat saying, you know what, you might have dominated us early game, but at least we're going to get a little bit of ass kicking in here before we go out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, they definitely caught Darius there, but he was also going a little bit 1v4, which is always fun, but not that smart. Yeah, so definitely, I completely agree. Yellow Buff needs to tighten up because they have the chance to throw the game easily. I mean, it doesn't matter how far ahead you are; you can still throw the game. League of Legends can still be thrown. All you have to do is do a couple stupid things, lose 2 or 3 key players, like they've been doing over and over again, and the enemy team can finish the rest of you guys ace and then walk into your base and destroy everything. And next thing you know, you're like, wait, what happened to our lead? I mean, it happens all the time. It happens all the time.
A couple major... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Even with whether it's pro players or not so pro players, it happens all the time. What matters is discipline. I mean, you have to have discipline to keep going. We saw teams that had a lot of talent, like Pink Potatoes yesterday, who didn't have discipline, and they keep it even for a while, and then it just falls apart. So Yellow Buff needs to maintain discipline now, even against a team that's kind of the underdog against them. They still need to maintain the discipline. Oh, check out that initiate! Oh my God!
It's an ult engage. I felt like it was a bad initiate, but regardless, there was good follow-up from the team. Something you were talking about a moment ago. Yes. Corky just picked up the Infinity Edge, I believe, and Malphite did just pick up the Shurilias, which is allowing him to allowed the team to get into position so quickly there. And kind of make up for sort of the bad positioning on that initiate. So there's that bottom inhibinator. That's a new term. The inhibinator. And then the top inhib's going to go down next. So I think that's going to be GG no re here, going straight for the Nexus.
Amumu, I think, is going to go for the well. I think he can make it. What do you think? Is he going to make it in time? Oh, shoot. I don't think he's going to make it now.
Amumu, FTW. Go, Amumu, go! This guy has balls. Dark Gemini's like... I don't even care. Duncan dodge that last hit! Oh, and he dies right at the buzzer.
Right at the buzzer.
Epic. At least that Amumu didn't. Just gave it everything he had. So everybody watching that cast, thank you for watching. We have another game coming right up. Only a few minutes delayed till the next one. All right, Cromar.
Yes.
What we said before this game, Yellow Buff. You were talking about Dark Horse for this tournament being Team Electric. How do you feel about Yellow Buff? Are you feeling good about them going to semis?
Well, I need to see them in a tougher game. We saw Electric up against a couple of decent teams, and teams that kept them at bay for a while. But Yellow Buff got off to such a huge lead that they didn't need to. I still think that Electric has better team composition. I think Electric has better follow-up. I think Electric has better discipline. So I think that they would beat Yellow Buff. But I would like to see them actually play against each other so we can find out for sure.
I'm going to agree with you that Team Electric did show better teamwork, better coordination, but I'm sorry. That is one of the best Malphites I have ever seen. X Factor right there. I'm calling it right now on Qualifier Day 2. All right, guys.
Electric plays Malphite too. We'll see. Malphite versus Malphite. Who can pick first?
Malphite bans is what's going to happen. But regardless, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to subscribe to the TGN League of Legends channel. If this one's going up on YouTube, link in the video description below to that. Thanks for casting with me, Cromar.
Thank you, Awall. See you next game.
Word. Why do I keep saying word? I do anyway.
I cut it out of the videos that I rendered.